Macie learned how to play disc golf in East Tennessee on a bunch of really wooded technical courses, so she had to learn that line hitting, that gap hitting ability early on. So when you go out to an open course, sometimes it can be a little bit brutal to try to make that line yourself in your brain. Once she gets that confidence dialed in, like she did on Sunset Hills in the rain, I can't wait to see what she does out at Northwood, because that's her style of golf, and that's what she's really good at.
Scoggins' confidence impresses me the most. I mean, she throws destroyers on every hole, and she throws shots that maybe other people would kind of look at and be like, oh, what are you doing? What a weird choice. And she doesn't care. She literally owns her own game. It's a very different style. She smiles and has really good confidence, but also doesn't get shaken very easily. If she makes a mistake, she comes right back and can correct the error and move on and score well.
Ella, coming from Ultimate, has the angle control that is so important in disc golf. So it's kind of like a cheat code for coming into disc golf, and it's why she was able to get so good so fast. She's able to put herself in positions of winning regularly and therefore learn how to win quicker than a lot of other competitors would without that angle control that she has.
Missy Gannon, defending champ, has literally been in the lead or tied for the lead the entire tournament. She has to have so much confidence out here because last year she won, beating Kristen Tatar, who's arguably the most difficult woman in the world to beat right now. Missy is just so strong mentally. She keeps a good attitude. Even when she has a bad shot, she smiles and makes herself okay and is able to get out of bad situations and continue pushing her game and scoring. So I think it's absolutely Missy's to lose, and I think that we will see her shoot pretty clean.
Hello, and welcome to the final round of the Discraft Ledgestone Open presented by Merrill. We are on the final day, just after a 50% cut, heading back to Northwood Black. It's a little sloppy from the conditions yesterday, but finally a nice dry round overall, a little earlier in the morning. Just a reminder, I know we've been talking about it all week, but Jomez is available now on the Disc Golf Network, ad-free, just for that Disc Golf Network monthly amount. You can still get Jomez on their YouTube channel the way you always have, but if you want to check out the Disc Golf Network experience, watch some live disc golf, and get Jomez ad-free, check it out. There's a code Jomez to get the first month free. There's a link to check everything out in the first comment down below.
Also, she's Madison Walker. I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're your two hot geese. Honk.
Honk.
If you don't know now, what are you doing? Northwood's the number 2 course in Illinois. I'm actually surprised. A real reviews, I'd like to press charges for assault against this course because it is so difficult. One of the more difficult hole ones out there, really on tour. Staying clean in the fairway is definitely key. We'll see those fairway hits on UDISC. Thank you for all you guys do.
Missy Gannon, first place in fairway hits, first place in circle 2 in regulation, and second place in circle 1X putting. So she's keeping it clean and making all of her putts, and look where she is now, in the lead.
Scoggins, first place in my heart, first place in circle 1X putting, 100%. Also first place in circle 2 putting at 35%, and she's parking quite a few of the holes as well.
Ella Hansen, we've seen her on a ton of lead cards this year. Second place in circle 1 in regulation, parking 9% of the holes, 5th place in fairway hits as well. So she is also keeping it clean. Let's see if Northwood Black affects that mentality.
Macie Veladiaz shooting hot in the rain yesterday to climb her way up. She is third, landing in the circle at 39%. Also landing in circle 2, giving herself some long looks 59% of the time. Should be really fun to watch her play. Hole 1, again, very difficult. Most women going to take this gap that the drone is flying. There is an OB line on the left that comes up quick. You can throw a turnover backhand. We saw Missy park it with kind of a tight flex line. You see a lot of women throw forehands just because the right side is inbounds. Most women going to play for par, maybe land in circle 2, maybe park it if you're Missy.
Fun fact, Missy was the first woman to ever birdie hole 1.
And she didn't even course. Look stoked. She was like, yeah, it's cool.
Just part of my life. Looks like she's got her thrasher out again. Distance driver in hand. Not the most common play chosen here, but we love to see it from our current leader.
Not quite as much turn as round one. Gets a kick and goes OB.
She's progressed a good ways down the fairway, though, before going out of bounds and can still rescue a par. Oh, wait, no, it's a par 3. Never mind.
Yeah.
This is a par
Bogey
4
at
in my
best.
head.
I know, right? Yeah, you're not too mad about a 4 here. So Own and Ella tied for second. They are 4 strokes back of Missy, which really isn't much out here at Northwoods. Double bogeys come up quick. Own looks like she stayed in bounds with that flex forehand.
I like the sidearm off the tee here. I think it's a little bit more of a safe play. It does kind of bring one of those early trees into play a little bit more, but I just like the way the disc finishes away from out of bounds.
Yeah, it can leave some tough upshots, though, on the right side. You can see that woods line. Just because it's a safer play doesn't mean it's exactly easy. So Ella, safe for days, throwing a DD1, but likely kind of in scramble mode from over there.
Super jail.
And from Morristown, Tennessee, Macie, Veladiaz.
So great to see Macie out here. Is this her first full-time year on tour? Because last year she was only out at some of them, I thought.
Well, she doesn't do any of the West Coast swing.
Yeah.
Because she still likes to play some local events in Tennessee and Virginia area. But no, last year she was on tour a good bit of the year.
Okay. I think maybe a little bit more this year. And that was a great shot with her Supreme Escape.
Yeah, that was a crush. She told me last night, we were talking about what hole 1 is like in her game plan, and she was like, after I birdie hole 1, y'all can talk about me in the stats too.
I wish.
So let's hopefully see Macie bang this putt. Ella with a really, really nice approach to the green. She'll have a no-nonsense par.
Own pinned up on this tree here. What a great shot.
If you guys want to hear more Macieisms, go back and watch the 2023 DDO coverage. She co-commentated with me while Erika took a week off.
If you could just impersonate her the whole time today, that would be, I think, ideal for the fans.
It will not be the last time. Missy giving herself a putt to save bogey. Macie forced to forehand to the basket.
Throw it in. Dang it. And we're done talking about Macie for hole 1. That's going to be a tough putt to save par, straddling out to the right of that tree.
Just a little low. This played as the second easiest hole of the day with the top 50% of the field, which is very crazy to me. 67% of the field taking a birdie. Okay.
A par. Taking a par.
It has it listed wrong in UDISC. Okay, that's what's throwing me off because I keep
Oh,
talking.
it's listed as a 4?
It's listed as a 4 in UDISC.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Wait.
Missy saves her bogey. It is, in fact, a 3.
Okay. I just had the MPO stats up for Eureka, so.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So statistics weren't really making sense.
No, it's the most difficult hole of the day.
Yeah, geez.
No
okay.
one birdied it. 56% took a par. 44 took a bogey or worse. This one is okay to bogey if you're going to pick one. God, that makes
Second easiest.
I know that
I was
makes
like, oh my
way
God.
more sense. Only one competitor got to circle 2 in regulation. No one else even gave themselves a putt. I think Macie was the only one.
All right, 3 strokes separating Missy from both Own and Ella, who took pars on that hole.
Hole 2. 505 feet with an uphill tee shot. I like a backhand turnover. You can throw a sidearm as well, but it's a little bit more of an angled shot required to get to the mouth of this gap as it turns right very hard down to this downhill tunnel shot. This is a birdieable hole, but it takes 2 very perfect shots. The landing zone is super small and the tunnel is very narrow, especially as you get closer to the basket. It's very well guarded, but definitely one that people are hunting to get. Feels really good to mark this one green on the scorecard.
Ella going putter here. I like the height. And that's going to be a little bit on the left side, but a really solid tee shot.
We saw her throw a sidearm in round 1 on this shot. So look at her flip-flopping, showing us all the things she can do.
Missy going a tighter, lower line than Ella. I like this a lot. That was her Big Z Mantis. Little pep in her step after that one. Macie also going flippy mid-range with her gold line fuse, and that's really good also.
Oh, and lined up with the gap a little bit further back, forcing her to throw flat for a little while before getting to throw nose down downhill.
I'm surprised she didn't go forehand there.
Me too.
The shape is a little bit better for it. But Own is never predictable. It's one of the reasons she's fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What a friendly tree kick.
Wow.
Oh, good.
Is that a mid-range?
I'm not sure. It looks like it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a pretty shot, but just a little bit overturned, and that tree just kind of...
Ball don't lie, though, because I feel like it was a great line. It was just a hair off.
Wow.
And look at
what a great break.
Yeah, look at the speed control, too.
Maybe she's aiming for the tree. We don't know.
Yeah, it was a backboard play. Macie overturning, missing one of the fairway trees, but getting way down there. She'll be in circle 2 land-ish, but with a very obstructed putt.
Missy with pretty much the ideal spot here. Still a very difficult shot, but at least it's wide open and you're looking at it.
Ideal landing zone, circle 1, down the narrow fairway. That is just living right on hole 2.
Own still with some work left to do. Tree in her backswing. Pretty awkward angle. Very awkward angle.
Yeah. Trying to keep that disc angle away from the tree. She overturns it, turns it into a thrower. Her 4th shot, hopefully into the green. Perfect. It's weird that almost the same amount of people got to circle 2 as did to circle 1 for birdie. Kind of a weird stat.
In Eureka or at Northwoods?
At Northwood's hole 2.
Okay.
For certain this time.
Macie makes good on her par putt. What a great birdie.
Oh, yeah. Thanks to the tournament staff for getting these wood chips down on the green as well. Lots of muddy areas on Northwood, especially after the flash flooding conditions we had yesterday and the excess of foot traffic from all of the MPO competitors.
As Madison mentioned earlier, also a great birdie from Ella, we are playing earlier in anticipation of a storm later. So I can't remember what time they teed off. Like
7 a.m. I believe was the first
tee time.
Yeah.
8:30?
I think 8:20 or 8:30 was lead card.
Yeah. So quite a bit earlier than they're used to being out there. It was kind of nice, actually. Hole 3 is a par 4. Really calls for a forehand off the tee, but you can make a backhand turnover work. You want to land about here. And then there are kind of 2 routes, but also maybe no routes. The drone is flying through the middle, which no one does. You go usually to the left or far right. Definitely birdieable distance-wise, but where you land off the tee really dictates what you're able to do. Worst mistake you can do is turning it over to the woods line left.
Yeah, even though the backhand lets you get way more aggressive and far down the fairway, making that second shot super easy, it's almost not worth the risk because if you don't turn it enough or if you catch one of those trees and kick left, like Erika said, it's so insane back there that it's hard to even rescue a par or bogey.
Yeah, it's bad. Ella, perfect shot with her C-line FD3. Missy going forehand as well with a Z Raptor. It's well done.
Check out that big tree
Oh,
down.
yeah.
It came down during the MPO round yesterday. I talked to one of the guys on the card
Yeah.
who was on the tee pad.
Right.
And it, like they said, it just fell down right in front of them. And there was people like 30 feet in front of it throwing. So no one saw that coming. It's a live tree. It has leaves on it still. I know that Pro Tour was out there looking for Widowmakers during practice rounds, and no one saw that coming.
No. Yeah, I'm glad everyone is safe. That would be so crazy to see. It is a
Yeah.
monstrous tree. Owen with a good shot here. Macie, the only one who kind of overturns it, is going to be a little bit in that left side, but hopefully not too deep. Definitely looking at a par from here, though, at best.
I kind of hope they leave it there. I feel like it looks really cool. And it's not really in play, you know?
Wow, what a pretty forehand shot.
Macie has such a solid sidearm game, really good at shaping lines in the woods.
That was so good. So Missy, I'm guessing going the left side, which is kind of the most direct route to the pin.
Wow.
Miss it. Ah, so close.
Such a pretty line.
Owen lining up the flex on the left side as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you're going to miss, I don't mind the high side. There's more room down on the left side, but you don't really have to worry. Even though there's a wall of bushes, you can usually find a little hole to putt through, or at very worst, go up and over and give a little soft bid. Ella
Right.
putted from there, I believe, in the first round over the high side. This time she gets a clear look for birdie.
Super smooth sidearm there from Ella.
Really nice layup from Macie.
I think she's self-admittedly not the best Circle 2 putter out there. She's like, I'm just happy if I get it in the air. Missy comes up short on her long birdie look. Ella looking to take another one on Missy. Let's go, Owen.
The long putt queen walking away with a birdie on hole 3, also gaining a stroke on Missy.
If you didn't watch round 1, Northwoods is one of the most difficult courses we play all year, and getting under par is quite a feat. Nice.
So to see Ella 2 down through 3, what a start.
Yeah, it's a Sunset card, not a Northwoods card. Are we going to talk about Missy's shirt? Because it's fantastic.
It's a nice one for sure, sticking out in the lovely greenery of Northwoods black.
Katrina Allen! Maria Oliva! She's done it. Kristen Tatar.
Side, Ananda. Macie, Veladiaz.
Champion Open at Austin.
Paige Pierce.
Hole 4, 520 feet, another 2-shot hole, very technical, what Northwood does best. You want to land somewhere right in here. The further around the corner you can get, of course, the better, but if you're pinched off to the left, it can make that second shot a very technical flex sidearm. If you push deep, it can also make the green very difficult to approach. There is a creek down below that kind of stinks to play out of, but it's casual and very gettable if you land down there to save your par.
Ella definitely taking the preferred line on the right. Will have a little bit of trouble to deal with, but progresses down the fairway nicely.
This is one of those holes where you're ideally looking for that big gap on the right like Erika was just talking about, but if you early release, you can get lucky and get sneaky through these trees, but Owen's just going for it, sending it right through that
Do it.
middle line.
If you early release, you can also get kicked so far early left, and it takes 2 shots to get out, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, there's a pretty big gully down there
Yeah, sure is.
with
Missy
a lot of loose timber.
with that slight early release. She is pretty far down the fairway, but going to be very pinched. It's going to require kind of a really high Anheuser forehand to get there.
Macie almost in the perfect landing zone. Oh, no, that's great. She'll be a little pinched on those trees on the right, but she's really good at these technical angled sidearms. No.
It sucks right there.
It does.
And it's full of water now, so
Oh, I forgot. The creek has been dry. It was for all the practice rounds
Yeah.
and for our first round, but everything is wet now.
yep.
Wow.
Oh, yes, Own.
That's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
What a shot.
Climbing up the hill inside the circle.
I would be really impressed if a backhand got there. That corner is so sharp.
Yeah.
So-
I kind of wonder what's going on in Missy's head right now. Is she, I mean, of course she's staying pedal to the metal, but is she going like really aggressive, or is she trying to like kind of remain safe, I guess, you know, like play her game, but while not trying to bite off too much? That almost looked like she was trying to birdie still.
I don't know.
Yep.
Ella pedaled to the metal for sure here. Parked for a turkey. Yeah, I mean, I do think you have to be aggressive, and we saw Missy, what was she, like 3 or 4 down through the front 9 last round? So I don't blame her for getting aggressive, but wow, what a good out from Macie.
Yeah, not so bad of a spot.
Yeah, one more foot down that hill, and oof,
It's insane.
nature cam here.
Missy from the short side of that gully, throwing over the water. She kind of danced with this bridge in round 1 as well. No problem, though. She's up on the green for par.
Own for birdie from 23 feet. Maybe a little farther. She catches right side chains but doesn't stick.
And nice recovery from Macie. I like how if Own misses one putt, like she just did, barely right side, just a little, she's going to, in her post-round interview, say, I just really need to work on my putting some
Yeah.
more. She already putts like 200 a day.
I think it's 300. Like, actually,
Yeah,
that's
I
not an
I
exaggeration.
know, it's a lot. And she has such a big stack of putters, and she goes through it so quickly, and she misses one. She's like, oh, yep, just got to hit the green harder.
Yeah, just gotta get back out there. And Ella bringing it to 1 stroke very quickly. She's probably talking about getting back on the putting green right now.
Already planning her putting sesh this afternoon.
Check out Sarah Hokum. She's 2 down through 5.
Climbing up into 3rd.
Maria Oliva 2 down through 6.
Only 1 stick separating the lead right now.
Hole 5 is a par 4, 451 feet. Another 2-shot par 4. You want to throw something dead straight down this tunnel, land in about a 15-foot diameter right here at the corner, and then it sets up for a forehand, or I think a gently turning backhand with like a putter. Anheuser shot is a little bit easier to get to the pin. If you do not land in the landing zone, you are scrambling. You can be in the fairway, but still scrambling. That's going to be a little left. We'll see if she sneaks through the corner. She does.
Wow.
Yeah, if you're going to make a little mistake, being left like that is better than being right.
Yeah, this hole requires you to land in that tiny little zone, or else you don't really have any option besides something kind of crazy and something risky. You could see maybe potentially someone just pitching out to the drop zone, but most of these ladies are going to get aggressive regardless of where they're landing. And that can look pretty crazy. Wow.
all right.
What a friendly little pop out from the woods.
That's a Z swirl buzz from Missy.
Ooh, I like this shape from Macie.
Me too, as long as it doesn't push too deep.
Wow.
Looks good. That was
Such good control of the speed.
a gold line pure. And Ella threw putter as well, color glow P1.
Ooh, I didn't realize Pure had that much stability. That was really cool to watch.
I don't have Own's disc list, but I think that was probably a Leopard 3 from her, if I had to guess.
These are crazy.
Macie opting for the sidearm.
Yeah, it's wild.
You really want to push straight for a while towards that bent tree before fading. Not bad.
Yeah, she gets tangled up in circle 2. We'll see if she has a look for birdie. Missy with a little more of a flex line, kind of a straighter shot. And
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Missy forehand looking good.
And that's important, too, with Ella attacking and in a pretty good position to go for birdie here.
Yeah, Ella's pretty comfortable with these type of high spiky shots. It's a little tree help. She'll still be short with some
Shirt with some...
shirk with
Some
some
of your
work
pretzel.
left to do.
God. You think that was tree help? I feel like it was tree hurt. Just going right at the pin. Own parked for a par. Macie trying to get her first birdie of the round, but chooses to lay up.
Really nice layup for Macie. She's so good at those.
Ella in circle 2. Looks like she's lining up an Anheuser. Leaves it pretty short. Missy increases her lead back to 2 strokes.
One of only 5 birdies on the day.
That was such a good technical sidearm, too, Missy's approach.
Yeah, it was more of a straight shot, which is even harder.
Everyone else gonna tap in their pars.
Ella going to hold on to that second place right now with 2 strokes over Sarah Hokum. Playing very solidly. One of the few under par in the top 10. Hole 6. U-shaped par 5. Your first shot, you want to finish more on the right side of the fairway. Distance doesn't matter as much as accuracy. Your second shot, you're trying to push the back wall of trees and finish to the left. Big mistake there is finishing early left. It pinches off the next shot. If you go deep, you are able to approach the green and potentially have a putt for birdie. Any early shots, and you're basically settling for par.
Oh, so pretty. So straight. I guess it does fade just a little bit to the left, but it's not bad over there. Missy throwing an ESP Thrasher, duh.
There's a little bit of a false fairway over there, but it's very tight.
It does have some hyzer gaps. Like, it's not impossible to birdie from over there. Ella in a similar position throwing Metal Flake FD.
Are they on top of each other's disc?
I don't know. Are they?
So
I thought
it's
Missy
right
got a little
next
farther.
to each other.
That's cute. Own with the world's flippiest destroyer. Gotta be a little bit left as well. Macie going Supreme Escape. I think it's smart to disc down to a fairway and throw a straight shot like this. I don't know why I don't do it. It's so smart.
It's so smart, and that was such a perfect landing zone. She's going to be set up for the hyzer on the second shot.
Yeah, you really don't need max distance to be able to birdie this one off the tee.
Oh, and forced to take that really high route to hopefully carry pretty far left. She'll be in position to potentially get herself a long putt, but down the hill and a little blind.
She might be able to see it, but there's really specific gaps you have to hit from there.
Pretty much every third shot on this hole is left with weird footing. You're
Yeah,
kind of
that's
always
true.
on a side hill. I really like the forehand roller play here. I know Ella is forced to do this because of this tree, but if you can lay the angle down right, you can get so far around the corner.
And not end up in the ditch.
Yeah, and not end up in the dreaded ditch.
We actually haven't seen too many people down there. Missy having to throw a pretty tall, spiky hyzer shot just to get to the corner.
That was so smooth.
Mm-hmm. And she'll have a gap.
Ella.
Oh, a second attempt.
Oh, back-to-back forehand rollers. I spy trouble.
Cut in the corner?
Get out.
Okay. Pretty dang good.
Yeah. Especially with her forehand game, she can even still save the par here.
That was risky. So here's the gaps I'm talking about. Owen looking like she's lining up the left one, trying to flex something.
Did you see that back foot slide out? It's looking muddy on that landing zone.
That works pretty well, though. She gets a circle 2 birdie putt.
I heard a lot of people were having trouble planting on their second and third shots in the fairway. Conditions were rough out there. Oh.
Late release from Missy. Wow, the disc did it as soon as she pointed.
Weird.
Impressive. Witchy.
Witchy.
Wow, Macie in a great position here.
No, that
boo.
is so rude. Someone get that vine out.
I mean, she did pull it a little bit, but still.
I would be a little pouty there too.
Ooh. Oh man.
What in the?
Wow. I didn't know that the ravine wrapped around so close to the basket.
I thought that stump kind of, or that tree kind of knocks everything down, but
No,
Ella
she went
found the
under it.
mail slot to the postal service of doom.
Own for birdie. About 40 feet. A little high.
400 putts today for practice.
100 for every miss.
Yeah.
Missy comes up short on her birdie bid. What an awkward spot. Ella has a gap. That's well done. Just a bummer.
Yeah.
Owen makes good on the par comebacker.
Macie for her par after playing the hole pretty flawlessly. Such a bummer. There were 5 birdies on the day today. Only 20% of the field. I had some vengeance on this hole from this year, and I will be returning next year with the same vengeance because I did not get it this year again.
Continuous vengeance.
Yeah. Years of vengeance. Missy's going to hold on to that 3-stroke lead right now.
Pretty tight, though.
Uh-huh.
Down the leaderboard. Hole 7 is kind of an awkward par 3, 325 feet. Awkward because the line is maybe through this gap right here, and if you throw a backhand, you end up kind of fading left. A lot of women end up throwing something that flexes to the right, and you got to get a little bit lucky through some trees. The absolute perfect line would be a flip-up forehand that drifts to the left before fading, but it is so hard.
Missy almost hits the perfect backhand route as well.
I actually think that's the cleanest backhand route. It just doesn't get you a circle 1 putt.
Yeah, if you get it to turn a little bit more before she faded before those trees, you can actually get to circle 1, but you're still having to avoid some trees.
This is kind of the typical play, I think.
Yep.
You just got to get a little lucky.
Yeah, just a little inside. It's a little scary, more scary of a route to go for because of the out of bounds line all the way down the right-hand side. If you do catch one of those trees and kick, you can very easily find your way to the soy field.
Ooh. That was great. That was one of the cleaner lines I've seen
Dead
from Macie.
straight.
That was her Opto Explorer. Oh, she was throwing that red one. She was throwing it so well yesterday. Just super trusts that one.
Ooh.
Hella high and drifty and pushing that OB line.
Does it pull away a little over there? Okay. It
She's
looks like
in.
she's safe. Heck yeah. Oh, she's right by a stake, so she was right on the edge. And this is pretty typical for your second shot on hole 7. A long putt, obstructed. Hopefully you maybe can find your way hyzering or anhyzering into the basket. 500 putts from Own today. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. These are long circle 2 putts, and that's really the most common thing. From the stats, 28% of the field today of that 50% cut got to circle 2, and only one competitor got to circle 1.
Missy, the last one to attempt the birdie.
Nice. Full send. Vanessa Van Dyken and Katrina Allen both getting birdies on hole 7.
I swear Vanessa Van Dyken has this shot dialed.
She's got that little force flex down. Does she take that right side?
A little, yeah. I mean, just
Yeah,
a little.
yeah.
Like, I think when
Heyo.
I think when she throws it right, she does hit the actual gap just and leaves herself a little bit of a putt. But her name's just always on the list for birdies on this hole.
Needless to say, with only 2 birdies on the day in FPO, par feels A-okay on hole 7.
Yeah, par frame is pretty typical on this hole.
Dang, that is a good ponytail flip in slow motion. Love that.
Sarah Hokum tied for second with Ella right now.
Maria sliding up the leaderboard as well. We move to hole 8. Oof, look at this thing. OB all the way down the right side in that gully. Very narrow gap, staggered just the way you don't want it to be. Blocking the easy hyzer into the green. You have to throw something dead straight down a very narrow hallway and let it gently finish left. It's easy to kind of overjuice this one and go deep. And it's also easy to fluff it and go short early left. Missy early releasing. Gets a good reaction though off the trees, and it's going to land in the fairway.
I do think the early release is probably the better mistake than the late release because at least you have a chance to land inbounds.
This is a very friendly drop zone though. It's for the MPO hole. We just get the benefit of playing it.
Oh, is it? I think Owen stays in. Yeah, that drop zone can't be more than 45 feet.
Yeah,
Maybe closer
I
to
was going to
40?
say 40. Yeah, it's really short.
Which I'm actually kind of a fan of. It encourages you to
Be aggressive.
really send the hole.
Yeah.
Macie with a really nice line. I believe that's a Royal Trust.
I think if it was a harder drop zone, you'd see a lot more people kind of bailing out early and just playing it for par.
Exactly, which is boring.
Super boring.
Solid shot from Macie. She goes a little bit deep, but she'll have an attempt at a birdie. Ooh, late release. We'll see if this putter.
Wow.
Oh, okay, all right. What a friendly kick.
There's a serious lack of backboard being called on this lead card right now.
Slop.
Slop everywhere.
This is just a beautiful shot of, like, camera shot, not disc golf shot.
Of the foliage.
Yeah.
Ella with a little hyzer jump putt to the green. Maybe giving it a soft bid. Oh, yeah.
Full bid.
Hard bid.
Missy trying to save par. Has that one vine in her way, it looks like.
Nice line, just a little short. 20% of the field getting to circle 1 in regulation, but only 8% with birdies. It's only 2 on the day.
Owen throwing her second shot. It just happened to land at the drop zone. Dang. 600 putts.
It's going to be a long night for Owen.
Not with her rapid fire giant stack of
true.
putters.
600 putts takes 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. 14? Yeah. I would love to see that.
Have you seen how fast
Yeah,
she does
I
it?
have. It is
It's
impressive. It really
unbelievable.
is. Macie, flirting with... Is that the OB line? right there?
No.
Is it the same as the MP?
No,
it's the
that
same as the MPO.
Yeah, it drops down into the MPO fairway right there.
Just kind of
Just awkward.
awkward.
Holland Hanley and Stacy Rawnsley both getting birdie 2s on that one. And that one feels very good to get.
Missy and Owen going to take the bogeys. Macie and Ella with par there.
Ella gonna gain one more stroke on the current leader right now. Sarah Hokum jumps up into solo third, one behind Ella.
Wrapping up the front 9. It's a par 4, 564 feet. You want to throw a backhand shot that lands kind of at the mouth of this tunnel here, and then throw a second shot through this main gap that the drone just flew through. It's so short that you really want to get it, but it's another it's one of the least technical 2-shot holes, but it is still fairly specific.
Yeah,
and easy to mess up, as we just saw from Macie.
The second shot is also kind of heavily guarded.
It's true.
At least when you get close to the green. But you can really open up on this tee shot, like Erika said. You don't have to be as technical and attentive as to where your disc is landing, or the certain angle, or how much slide you're getting, like you do on a lot of these holes at Northwood.
I will say Ella was kind of headed towards that left side, which is a much tighter kind of false fairway over there, and gets a nice little kick from a stump.
Good looking shot from Missy.
Pretty perfect. It's funny, like, look at it. It's still not easy, but you're like, oh, I can relax a little. Great shot from Owen as well.
And it's fun to, like, full power one, too.
Yeah, full rip.
That is a great thing about Northwood, though, is getting to pull out your mids and your fairways. We don't get to see a lot of them on tour, so it is great to throw them in these tall trees.
Macie just chipping up, not trying to get too aggressive.
Ella working a flex forehand. I love this line for this shot. Takes out a lot of the guardian trees on the green, and she comes in with some speed, still leaving her a circle 1 putt for birdie.
Great shot. Yeah, I think you're right. The guardian trees do shape up a bit better for the forehand line.
Yeah, you almost have to throw like a slow turnover.
For the backhand?
Uh-huh.
Macie not finding the luck through the guardians, drops just inside circle 2 and looks kind of obstructed as well.
Owen also flex forehanding to the green.
Super flex.
Still with perfect amount of time.
Awesome.
That shot, I will never understand it. I mean, I do technically understand it, but it's just crazy how she knows exactly when it's going to break.
Yeah, it almost always looks overturned.
Yep.
But it's not.
You're like, ooh, not a great, okay, it's perfect. Just kidding.
Wow, Missy getting some serious distance on the drive. That's one of the shorter approach shots I've seen, and is pretty wide open.
Macie with a really long look to save her par. Oh, God, I love that.
That was a good bid, though. That was a real bid.
Yeah.
Ella for birdie from just inside the circle.
A lot of chains, but little left side doesn't quite grab. This did play as one of the easiest holes of the day. 36% of the field taking birdies.
Missy to extend her lead to 4, which is what she started the round at. And getting back under par for the round as well. Own even par through 9. That was a great birdie.
Macie, unfortunately, going to card a bogey to wrap up the front 9. Ella going to finish the front 9 at just 1 under par. A few hiccups.
Whoa.
Missy's
halfway.
Yeah, we're halfway. Missy's still holding on to that pretty substantial lead. That feels nice and
Especially
comfortable at Northwood.
when it got down to 1 stroke and she just built it right back up. Very impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Holland Hanley still in contention in the top 3.
Check out Holly Finley, 4 down through 12.
Whoa. Maria Oliva also playing some solid disc golf, keeping it under par. And this is a look at everyone that made the cut. As you slide down the leaderboard, you find a little bit more over par. We heard it was kind of hard to plant in some muddy areas, and I'm sure the tee pads are a little slick as well. But thanks to the tournament staff for keeping the course looking great and doing quick work for us to be able to come out here and compete this morning at Northwood. I think everyone agrees it's one of our favorite tracks on tour. We got 9 more holes, the final 9 of Ledgestone. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 hot geese.
Honk.